Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm bringing you a tutorial for the thank you project I did for the Stampin' Inspirations blog hop. And I made these little inchy boxes. So they measure an inch by an inch by an inch by an inch. There was an inch cube. Could turn them into dice if you wanted. So they are little, they will fold flat. I did it so you could take both ends out and they will fold flat like so, well, apart from the decoration. This one I thought was really cute. So this was from Beauty of the Earth DSP, the one with the rows of trees, and I kind of cut them out so there's little trees all around them. And my idea for these is these are going to be little table gifts at a Thanksgiving dinner. Never had a Thanksgiving dinner, certainly never cooked one, but we're having one this year because my youngest son's partner is from the US, so we said, oh, we'll do a Thanksgiving dinner for you. So yeah, quite excited about that. So I thought these might be cute. I mean, those ones are very sort of autumnal, which I think is quite a nice theme for it. These ones a little bit more sort of rainbow, but you know, that's okay. My boys like a rainbow. So for this next one, so this is Beauty of the Earth paper, and this is the DSP pack, the Party Pattern Designer Series paper, massive pack, and you get this with host rewards. So if you have an order of, I think it's, can't remember, £175, you get that huge pack for free. So so yeah, so I'm going to use for this one another sheet out of that paper. So one side of it are all these beautiful colours and the other side's black and white. And I liked this because I thought this kind of goes with that sort of autumnal theme, but I wanted to add some colour to it. So I'm going to bring in a sheet, and I'm kind of taking inspiration from this paper, and I'm going with Merry Merlot and cinnamon cider for it. And so I thought I'll just do a bit of blending. I wasn't sure if I didn't want to do it with a dauber rather than a blending brush. I do have my daubers that I could do as well, but I'm going to go with the blending brush. This had a different colour on it, so there we go. I think we're all right. I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to do a bit of blending. Random, these are going to get cut up to an inch by an inch. So now let's come in with cinnamon cider. And sort of blend that. And yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, a sort of an autumn leaf look. I think that's working. I might go a little bit more now with this. Yeah. Liking that. So that's that bit done. So, and I haven't chosen what colour I'm going to do the box in. So for each of these, I chose a colour within the DSP. But for this one, I haven't. So you need 6 squares, because I've put one on the bottom as well, and these are they're not 1 and 7/8, they are just 7/8. So I cut a 7/8 strip, and so now I'm going to 7/8 there to cut my squares. I find it much easier to measure on that side. For some reason that doesn't look like, it might have been slightly under. Don't think it matters, that can go on the bottom. This was a 6-inch strip, so we will get them all and a little bit extra. There we go, so a little tad extra. So that's all my squares. And I'm thinking maybe a bit of Merry Merlot. So I've got Merry Merlot and I've got cinnamon cider. So let's just lay, well, it looks like I've got 3 there that are very cinnamon cidery. I don't really think it makes much difference, to be honest with you. Don't think it makes that much difference. I think I'll go with cinnamon cider because I've already done one in cinnamon cider. So we need 3.5 by 4 1/4. Three and a half, 4 1/4. And then we need our scoreboard. Very simple scoring because it's an inch by an inch by an inch. So on the long side, we're going to go at every inch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You could make that wider if you want. You just have a bigger flap that you're gluing down. And then on this side we're going 1/4, 1 1/4, 2 1/4, 3 1/4. So we've got a 1/4 inch flap at each end. All the measurements will be over on nigezza.co.uk. And then let's just fold and burnish all of these bits. So depending on how you decorate them, these could be decorated for Christmas or birthday if you wanted to as well. So they could be nice little favours. My thoughts are I'm going to get a packet of jelly beans, and I think you'd get quite a lot of jelly beans in one of these. So now to cut. So this is how we're cutting it. Okay, so I'll put a picture of this as well on my blog so you can see. So all of this end here is going to have the flap for cutting. So we're going to cut up, I cut up the inside of the score line up to the second score line, and then we're just going to notch that bit, and we'll do the same at this end. Cut up, notch that bit, and that's our little tab that's getting glued. And then we're going to cut up straight all of these score lines to that middle section, and just go one side of your score line, and then you're going to cut the other side of the score line as well, so that you're actually taking out that entire little scored strip, because we don't want that. And we don't want to notch, whereas normally in box making we would notch. We don't want to notch for this project. So those little bits will just come out, and then we'll repeat. I got on a bit of a roll yesterday making these. Whilst binge watching The Resident. I think I'm on season 3 now. About halfway through season 3. I am enjoying it. There we go. So that's that. So then if we have a look-see there, the one next to the flap and then the alternative one, they're the ones that we're going to cut down. So tidy those away. With these, we're going to cut these down to about just under halfway, like so. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So cut those down to just under halfway. Try and be as straight as possible. Okay. So that's that. And then on the ones that are left, let me keep it so it's the same as that. You're going to have one big flap on one side and one big flap on the other, and cut the other two off. And we're doing it opposite. And that's so on your little box, when you've got your flap, you've got one coming forward. I quite like it. You could have that as the back. I quite like it with the little, because I think you're more likely to open where the little sentiment is. So that one opens that way and that one opens that way, and I didn't put a thumb hole in the bottom. Okay, so on here we're taking this one off, and you want to take it off so that you're taking off that score line. I find if I rest my scissors, it comes off quite nicely. Save that bit. That is what we're going to die cut our I nearly did that wrong. I was nearly going to cut that one off. Die cut our little tag out, and then we do the same for this one at the end. We're just going to snip that off. Okay, so that's how they're looking. And then you can see I did round the corners. Now we do have a corner rounder, and it will do it with this one. I just find it quite awkward. I've still got this tiny little one, which I find works a little bit better. So what you will find is that some of them will require a bit of folding around. So like to get these, now we need to fold it over. And that one needs to fold down. So you do end up sometimes with a bit of bulk, and it's not very happy going into the punch when you do that. But brute force and determination does get the deed done. So that's those two. And I'll get these two done. You could just snip them so that you had sometimes you might find you need to snip a little bit there where you maybe still got a bit of score line. Can't do it. But you could just snip them slanted if you wanted to. Just rounded corners does give a little bit of a nicer look. I'm saying it's just when you, like that's got 3 layers of card in there. And this one's not really liking it. I do have another one actually. Yeah, so that one's a small one. This one would work better probably. Why didn't I think of that before? Cooking on gas. There we go. I think that's all the ends now done. And what you might find is if you didn't cut it quite straight enough, you might get a little funny bit. I just trim them. Just trim them. It's all right. Okay, so we have that. We are now going to stick our leaves, or DSP with the leaves on. On here. They're random, so you don't have to worry about it, but like this one, you had to think about where they were going because it's a directional pattern. The hearts were a directional pattern as well. And so with the stripes, really, you wanted them all to be going the same way around. But this one don't really matter at all. Okay, so that's all right. So I'm just going to stick them down. And then I do the thumb hole afterwards. When the DSP stuck on before we stick it together. Come on. That's it. Sometimes you just get a little bit of dry glue in the end that needs to come off, and then we're cooking on gas. Okay, so now I'm going to have a little look-see and decide which one do I want. I want that one at the bottom, I think, because it's slightly cut squiff. So we'll have that one on top. That one's slightly cut squiff as well. They both are. So going to do a little thumb hole. I've got a little 1/2 inch circle punch. I know we don't have one anymore, but I still have mine. So a bit of glue down the side there. I have used the snowman's head before and the edge of the everyday label punch. They give little half circles. Or you could just cut a notch if you wanted to. Okay. So this one is the bottom. And this is the top there with a little thumb hole. So then to decorate it, just use this little tag from the Meadow Dies. And so out of this bit of scrap, I'm going to cut one out of the cinnamon cider. And then that was from a previous project. I'm using the Thank You from Very Versailles because it fits. really well in that die. That would be fine. So the die just fits nicely. What I do is I take that corner to where the T is and just go just over the T, and it covers most of the thank, but it will mean when it's cut out we have got it all. Okay, other sentiments that fit nicely in this tag are the happy birthday from the little penguin place stamp set. That goes in quite nicely. The season's greeting is a little bit big, but the happy birthday fits in there nicely. So that's just another little option there. So let's get this cut out. Can use a little mini for this. So if you're a bit worried, you can use a little bit of washi tape to hold it in place. I'm going to use a bit of washi tape simply because I'm on camera. When I wasn't on camera, I didn't use washi and it was fine, but of course it won't be fine because the camera's rolling, so I ain't taking any chances. So there you go, that has cut our thank you really nicely. And then I just did one out of the scrap because I could, and I just thought it would look nice. Don't need any washi on that because it's not not got any words that I need to worry about. Okay, I've got a little magnetic strip up there where I'm putting that so I don't lose it. So I'm just gluing this so that it's slightly offset, so that the holes match, but it's slightly offset. Just thought that was quite a nice look. Just get rid of a bit of that ooze in there. There we go. And then I just used a bit of baker's twine to make a boat. So put the baker's twine through there. Cut way too much, but I didn't want to struggle on camera. Sometimes when I'm a bit stingy, I do actually struggle to tie the bow, and as I'm filming, I didn't want that to happen. Oh. There we go. So just pull that so we got the loops about how I want them. Yep, like in that. So let's cut those tails. That's still a bit long. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a little dimensional on the back. Find the front again, there it is, and then just stick that on. So that is my little gift box there. Put some sweeties in there. I say I would get quite a lot. Jelly beans, I think, in there. And there they are, and they can just get piled up. In the middle of the table, perhaps. If you had more, you could have a real big pile. I did make more happy birthday out of Christmas paper. So that was just made out of DSP so that you didn't have to do any matting and layering. So that works as well. That was another one of my tries. I didn't double up on the sentiment for that one. But yeah, so how cute. I think they're very cute. I think that'll make a nice little pile on Thanksgiving. Be nice to have 6. There's not 6 of us eating, but 6 would look pretty awesome. Make a little pyramid. So hope you like that. So all the details will be over on nigezza.co.uk with some nice photos. Link down below to everything that I've used and to my shop. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, if you're having Thanksgiving, I hope you have a lovely time. And we're looking forward to ours for the very first time. Okay, bye for now.